Oh, there they are. Okay, I'm happy. Hello and welcome. I call the channel the Jungle Nook, and this video here is going to be a little bit different than any of the other videos that I've made so far, in that I wasn't really planning on making a video of what I'm doing today. But I grabbed the camera, hit the record button, and we'll see where it goes. You know, I haven't figured out what the video is actually going to be called. Usually I have a couple of ideas for the title and an idea of what the description is going to be. But there's a lot of projects that I worked on where I did not make a video because something unexpected happened when I first started this channel, and that is I seem to have some anxiety right before I hit that record button. I'm pretty sure I know why, and that's because I consider myself new to the hobby, really. I'm still learning. Every time I do something, I seem to be learning something new. And I'm a little afraid that I might do something that's wrong, and somebody who's brand new to the hobby may do whatever they see me doing and not have good results, and maybe it discourage them. I have said many times in my other videos, not all of them, but I'm going to say it again. You know, I'm still fairly new to all this. I do have some background, with the house plants and even the aquariums, but I am by no means at all am I an expert. This used to be in the fish room. I recently moved it out, and the stand that it's on, this stand, I actually got this out of the trash about 1.5 years ago when I set the aquarium up. I was driving down the street and seen it. And it's starting to fall apart. If you look at the water, it's very unlevel. And this tank has completed its usefulness for as far as what I had started out to do with it. I originally was using it to breed and grow out some shrimp. There's still a colony in here. These are not my nicest shrimp anymore. I have much better colonies. The gravel that I put in here was a variety of different things. Black lava rock, some pea gravel, some I think it's called fluorite red. It's a clay substrate, and this was just supposed to be a temporary tank. I had even put I think I bought a package of 6 sponge filters to start out. I had all 6 of them in there, and that was just so everything could get the beneficial bacteria growing on it, and use that as I start new tanks. I ended up getting 5 Rasboras and putting them in here, and they started spawning for me, and they continued that for a couple of months, but it slowed down and eventually stopped. I'm not sure, but I think it's because I was way overfeeding my aquarium here. I mean, you can see there's a lot of snails in here now, but there were a lot more, and I'm not sure, but I think they were eating the eggs. I did remove several of those Rasboras and put them in another tank, and the same thing happened. They started spawning, and as the snail population, I was still overfeeding at that time, as the snail population increased, they stopped spawning. So I'm going to be setting up a 10-gallon tank in the shrimp room to try to get them to spawn again. So I want a much larger colony. I think there's probably about 20, maybe 30 in here. We'll see when we get it all tore out. And there's a lot of red lava rock in here. I got this from Home Depot. I'm not going to use anything that's in this tank other than the fish and the sponge filter because of all the snails. I know I'm going to get snails in the new tank, but it won't be like this one is now. The sponge filter, I will wipe that off, and I'll give the sponges a couple quick squeezes to try to get any of the snails off that I can see. But so that's pretty much what I'm doing with this tank. Oh, I will be using the water in here too, at least 5 gallons of it, just to try to keep the water parameters and everything the same. The heater will come out of this as well, and I'll be reusing that light. What I'm going to do for the substrate over here, you guys probably seen this in some of my other videos. I got a bucket of pea gravel here that I'm starting some beneficial bacteria on it. I also have another bucket here with some more of that lava rock. But in the video, that previous video, I showed that I was using a pinch of fish food and some Stress Zyme X to start the cycle. And one of my viewers, I believe your name's pronounced Alana. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but thank you very much for taking the time to let me know that this was not the proper type of bacteria that's in this for starting the cycle. I normally use Quick Start, but I was out, and when I went to the store, they didn't have any, and on the back of that bottle it said it's good for cycling your aquarium. But this is actually what you want to be using. A lot of people watched the video, and you were the only one who let me know, and I'm sure other people seen that and knew I was using the wrong material, the wrong product. But thank you for taking the time out to let me know. I would have continued to use that. I bought 2 bottles of it, and I would have been using that even in my new aquarium. So I do appreciate it. That's part of the reason why I started the channel. I do want to document what I'm doing, so years down the road I can come back and rewatch the videos. But also it's a way for me to interact with people that have the same interests and have the same hobbies as myself, so I can learn from them as well. This right here is my 55-gallon African Congo tank. I'll be doing an update on this. I think that might be my next video. I'm going to be putting a DIY CO2 unit on this. I did get a new light for it, and I also got a circulation pump for it as well. So let's start working on that tank. I'm just kind of walking around and talking. Like I said, I really don't know where this video is going. But I'll show you the actual tank itself. Well, first we're going to come in here. This is the fish room. This is the fish room right here. And when I get that tank all cleaned out, it's going to be going down here. I got another 20-gallon long there where I already am growing some aquatic plants immersed out of the water. And I'm going to do the same over here for a while. Over here, here's some plant material that will be going in with those rasboras. It's just a bowl with some Java moss in it. And over here in the shrimp room, this is the 10-gallon aquarium right here that we'll be setting up. What I did with this Java moss for the last, I don't even know how long it's been, a couple weeks maybe. I just been moving it off to the side, putting a little piece of algae wafer in there. And the snails have been going over to that algae wafer, and I've been removing them. And the last couple times I did this, I didn't see any more snails. I'm sure there's some little baby ones on there. But this is just to reduce the amount of snails initially going into the tank. And this is the shrimp room. I have a few aquariums set up that I just did recently. I call this one Shrimp Mountain. I got some red shrimp in here. They're over here. But yeah, this is Shrimp Mountain. And down here, I call this my Blue Dreamscape. And yeah, there's blue shrimp in here. I don't know if the color grade on them is up to an actual blue dream. But the reason I named this aquarium Blue Dreams is because my dream is to have a really deep blue, beautiful shrimp. And I started all my shrimp out with just a handful of shrimp. And I have been, over the last year and a half, breeding them and separating them by color and starting more and more colonies. This is the tank that I call my Moonscape. This is the Moonscape theme. I thought these rocks really looked like a moon rock. Right now I'm just going to remove some of this duckweed. I'm going to start removing some of those plants and rocks and stuff that are in there so I can get to the fish easier. When I originally set this up, there wasn't much plant material in there. It took time for it all to grow out. And those rasboras, they seem to like to stay inside of that pile of lava rock there. So that lava rock that I have over in the that bucket I showed you a little while ago. I'm gonna be taking a bunch of that and redoing the same thing. They seem to like it, so I'm just gonna move a bunch of this stuff out of here so that I can catch them easier. Holy cow, I thought this was a whole bunch of small plants. So this Java fern, but actually it's got some nice runners, some nice, look at that. That's one plant. I was not expecting that. I'm happy with that. There's one plant. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, I'm not really seeing the rasboras. I know they're in here, but I'm not seeing them like I thought I would. I'm expecting around 30 of them in here, but I'd be happy with 20. Oh, they're in the... Let's give them a nice little spot to hide in over here. Oh, I'm seeing them now. All right, good. I'm really not seeing as many as I had expected. Oh, there they are. Okay, I'm happy. I was getting concerned for a second there. They had all went right into that Java moss. So I filled this up with the fish tank water and I top it off with tank water. But when I gotta clean out my sponge filters, I'll take the sponge, put the sponge right in here and give it a couple good squeezes in here too as well. That's probably how I'll be doing it for now on instead of buying the quick start to put it in here. So because of what I've been doing, yeah, I already see some baby snails. Because I've been squeezing those sponges, there's a few snails in here already. That's all right though. I'll be happy if I get an extra 10 or 20 babies out of them. I'm gonna go put this in the tank, be right back. I also filled this up once with water out of the tank and put it in there on top of that rock so it doesn't dry out. Now I'm going after some of the lava rock. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in there. I can't count them. I won't be able to count them until I put them in the tank, but I at least got 20 of them in there. So now I'm putting in the lava rock, something they're familiar with. Stack it up so they have places to get in there and hide so they feel comfortable and safe. I'm not sure, but I think there's 21 of them in here. I'm gonna put them in right now, and then I'll add that Java moss for them. So I know it's not a a fancy scape, but it will serve the purpose. And the plant material that I put in here, the Java moss, and there's some Java fern too. They came out of well-established tanks, so there should be microfauna, microflora growing on that, which can help to feed the babies, and it also gives them a place to hide and feel safe, gives them some refuge. I would think within about 2 weeks I should start seeing some fry swimming around in here. And I got that other tank that these came out of cleaned out. So I'll have 2 tanks set up for immersed growth. And I have recently started putting DIY CO2 on some of my tanks. Just trying to get my plants to propagate quicker. I do have a bunch of tanks here I'd like to set up, but I don't have any plant material for them really. I have a 40-gallon breeder I will be setting up though pretty soon. That will be my first dirted tank, and I'll put some DIY CO2 in there, and that's where all my cuttings and propagations or any new plants will go into, and just try to build up my inventory of plants so I can get moving on some more aquascapes. Let me know what you think about just grabbing the camera and hitting record. It went pretty smooth for me. I wouldn't have even had a video to put out this week if I hadn't done that. So let me know in the comments what you think about that, and please hit that like button and subscribe if you liked what you've seen and you want to see more. Check out some of my other videos. So I think that's about it. Oh, I do have some fish bites and some frozen brine shrimp on hand too for these guys, but something that I like to do is take a boiled egg and a little bit of that yolk, and I'll mix that with some water, and I'll use a dropper and just put a real little bit of that in there. The fries seem to like that. It's really small. I think it's even smaller than the fish bites. But yeah, so I guess that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching.